A long time ago, in the green forests of England, there lived a brave young man. His name was Robin Hood, and he was kind, strong, and very clever. But the land was ruled by a cruel and greedy sheriff who took money from the poor. Robin Hood looked at the suffering people and felt very angry in his heart. He made a decision that day. He would fight for justice, and he would never give up. Robin Hood ran into the deep and dark forest to hide from the sheriff's soldiers. The forest was called Sherwood Forest, and it was full of tall trees and shadows. At first, Robin was alone, scared, and had nothing with him. But he was smart, and he learned how to survive in the forest every day. Robin Hood smiled and said, "This forest is my kingdom now." Robin Hood and his new friend Little John walked together into the deep forest. They met more men who were poor, hungry, and hiding from the cruel sheriff. Robin looked at all these men and felt a strong fire in his heart. He said to them, "Join me, and together we will fight for the poor people." The men agreed, and from that day they became known as the Merry Men.
The Sheriff of Nottingham was a powerful and very greedy man. He took money and food from the poor people of the village every single day. The people were sad, hungry, and afraid to speak against him. The sheriff heard about Robin Hood and became very angry and scared. He shouted to his soldiers, "Find Robin Hood and bring him to me now." Robin Hood and the Merry Men were hiding quietly between the tall trees. They saw the sheriff's soldiers carrying bags of gold stolen from the poor people. Robin raised his hand slowly and signaled to his men, "Get ready." They jumped out of the trees and stopped the soldiers on the road. Robin smiled and said, "This gold belongs to the poor, and we are taking it back." Robin Hood and his men rode quickly to the poor village with the bags of gold. The people came out of their homes and could not believe what they saw. Robin gave every family enough gold to buy food and live a better life. The people cried with happiness and thanked Robin Hood from their hearts. From that day, Robin Hood became the hero of all the poor people. The Sheriff of Nottingham was very angry and could not sleep at night. He called his smartest soldiers and said, "We need a plan to catch Robin Hood." They decided to organize a big archery competition in the city. The prize was a golden arrow, and they knew Robin Hood would come for it. The sheriff smiled and said, "This time, Robin Hood will walk into our trap." Robin Hood heard about the competition and decided to go in disguise.
He wore old clothes and covered his face so nobody could recognize him. He walked into the city carefully and joined the competition quietly. One by one, every archer tried, but could not hit the target perfectly. Then Robin stepped forward, pulled his bow, and hit the center perfectly every time.
The sheriff's soldiers watched the competition and recognized Robin Hood from every side. So he could not escape from every side. So he could not escape. Robin looked around and saw the soldiers closing in on him fast. He whistled loudly, and the merry men jumped out from the crowd immediately. They fought bravely and escaped from the city into Sherwood Forest safely. Deep in Sherwood Forest, Robin Hood heard a voice calling his name softly. He turned around and saw a brave and beautiful woman standing between the trees. Her name was Maid Marian, and she had walked alone through the dangerous forest to find him. She told Robin that the sheriff was planning a terrible attack on the poor villages. Robin took her hand and said, "Thank you, Marian. You just saved many lives today." The sheriff was furious and could not sleep after Robin Hood escaped from his trap. He punished his soldiers and shouted, "How did you let him go?" He made a new plan to catch Robin Hood once and for all. He offered a bag of gold to anyone who could bring Robin Hood to him. But the people of Nottingham stayed silent. They would never betray their hero.
A great and powerful king finally returned to England after a long journey. He heard many stories about Robin Hood and the cruel sheriff of Nottingham. The king disguised himself and walked quietly into Sherwood Forest alone. Robin Hood met him with respect, shared his food, and told him everything. The king listened carefully and said, "I have heard enough. Justice will come." The next morning, the king revealed himself, and everyone bowed before him. He called the sheriff and removed him from power in front of all the people. The poor people of Nottingham cried with joy and filled the streets with happiness. Robin Hood stood before the king, and the king said, "You are a true hero." From that day, the people of Nottingham lived in peace and freedom forever. Many years passed, and Robin Hood grew old, but his heart never changed. He sat under his favorite tree in Sherwood Forest and smiled at the sky. He remembered every poor family he helped and every fight he fought for justice. Little John sat beside him and said, "You changed everything for all of us." And Robin Hood whispered,
as long as there is injustice, this story will never end.